It's a big event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so that's pretty much what all of them were for. It was for some additional promotion items because they were a new student organization when they requested their first budget, which keeps them at $1,500. And with the events that they got their budget approved right before Fall Fest. So they did a Fall Fest thing. They've done a couple of events since then, or partnered with other organizations to events, and so now they're.
Are these events available to all students or just those?
They have to be.
They have to be available to all students.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I yield.
No, that's a good question.
John had his hand up.
Well, you did.
Beforehand.
after Brooke,
Oh.
so
Yeah.
Did you have something more to add?
Well, yeah, I think that part of the concern was that was just the amount of overlap from one student org to another. And you certainly don't want to discourage students from hosting events. And Francis is a phenomenal organizer. Every organization would be lucky to have someone like him to kind of advocate for their work. So that being said, while I guess I don't have any concerns about which student org is the biggest. Just I wonder if a student org in their first year is really ready to take on that role. And
Right.
so the other concern I had was that for our projections for the year, we were at 42.2 prior to this last staff act meeting for money remaining for compared to projections for the remainder of the year. And I'm confident that we're going to receive possibly some criticism, if not questions, from the walkabout group in terms of cutting their budget down to a third, essentially, of their original request. But their original request really ended up amounting to a third of what we have left to allocate for the remainder of the year. That's all I have for that.
Two things I'd like to speak to that. But first of all, when they were collaborating with other groups, was it only one group or were there multiple groups?
No, the graduate student group, they've been really big in the past few months and they've been collaborating, but there's overlap in leadership there slightly.
Okay,
But there's other groups.
So
But
was it-
mostly it's ISO. And then
3 out of 4? 2 out of 4?
for the events,
Yeah, that they're overlapping with.
the ones that they're requesting for, the ones that they already did.
Whatever this budget was going to cover, this additional money, they were using most of it to go to support.
I don't remember, I'd have to look at it again. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
General idea.
There was
Most of them,
three
if not
them.
all of them, I would say,
3 of them and 2 of them were with ISO, and I think the other one was GSAC.
which is a graduate student.
Say that one more time.
Sure. Of the 3 collaborative events they had posted, 2 of them were with ISO and 1 was with GSAC.
And then as far as if you're going to receive, the second part is if you're going to receive concerns about the way cutting the budget down that much, I would assume, I could be speaking out of turn, but they can come here, I'm pretty sure we would justify that because you have good reasons. If you went through it, you did a good job. Now, other people may or may not agree with me, but that's the way I feel about it.
We appreciate the vote of confidence.
And just to speak to that, Ron, before we continue, so everyone's aware of, if someone wants to appeal the decision of SAFAC, they can come directly to the Senate with that appeal. So I think that's what John was getting at with that, where if they feel that they don't get enough from this allocation from SAFAC, they have the right to appeal directly to the Senate for the full budget again. So it may come up again, just to make sure everyone's aware.
Which is,
Yeah, I had a concern about this as well. Francis will, again, I don't take anything away from what he does. I think he does a phenomenal job. But he'll charge, the organizations will charge the students a dollar amount to go on these trips as well sometimes. And it may only be $2 or $5, but my concern is with the amount being at almost a third of what their original request is, that they may in fact try and charge students to attend these events again. And we already pay a student activities fee, and all that money that they charge, it goes right back into their organization anyway. So it's like they're getting more money for their budget that way. So I'd just like to make it.
Just a point of information with, I'm sorry,
No, I said you're probably going to cover what I was going to say.
So the information that we received at the meeting is that they will charge a nominal fee that does not cover what the expense is for the student to attend. That fee is only meant to secure that student's spot, because the feeling is that the student is more vested in participation to that event by having put a $5, hold for their place or something along those lines. Also, the money that is provided by students is then paid towards Phil. Is that correct?
It goes back into their account.
It goes back into their account?
Yes, but I have to do extra things for them to be able to access it.
Okay.
The students account or the organization?
And this, the orders account is what our understanding is. And so, with that, I guess.
I understand that, and, but that money should go back, I'm sorry, I was just reporting. Go ahead.
I was just gonna speak to it because at the SAFAC meeting, we also, since it wasn't on their supplemental budget, the money that they had accrued, we did let them know that they do need to put it on their next budget that will be due in April, March to April, where they will have to put all their funds that they have received. So we'll be able to see, what they're taking in, what they're, are you charging more because we didn't give you, that kind of thing. We'll be able to see that. And since it's not a whole year around, we'll be able to see it in a couple months. I yield.
Point of information though, isn't it, they're not supposed to charge students though, right? I mean,
Phil?
It's allowable. You are not allowed to charge more than the cost of the event. You can't make money on an event. You could put something on and actually charge at cost. Nobody does that, but you are allowed to charge a fee if you wish.
okay.
There is, as you're expressing though, Rob, there is a large portion of the population, student population, that believes there shouldn't be a charge, but you are allowed to charge something.
Okay, thank you. I yield.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move on to a vote. Dee, could you reread the motion? Maybe if you stayed in the minutes, that would be fantastic.
Motion to approve the SAFAC recommended amount of $5,447.
Second.
No, it's already
already
did.
did.
I thought you were.
So, motion to approve, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion prevails. You're not gonna get the scholarship, so let's move
I'm giving you the scholarship for your
I call the orders of the day.
on. Moving on, Metro State votes. Angie?
Okay, so there's a ad hoc committee called Metro State Votes, which is kind of part of the American Democracy Project and kind of part of CCBL, which is the Center for Community-Based Learning here on campus. And they do this every election cycle, so every 2 years, where, obviously presidential election cycles are bigger and grander.
There are 4 years.
I know, but
She's just
the
saying they're
off cycle
bigger.
too.
Okay.
They do the off cycle. But anyway, so this year obviously is a big one, and we're already starting to plan it, and we've been meeting, and we have some different event information that I'm going to share with you. But one thing that they do for this is they hang this really cool big banner that says Metro State Votes 2012. And I think maybe 2012 is at the beginning of it too. I don't know. But
No, it's
anyways.
just at the end.
Yeah, and so they hang it in the skyway so that people, are realizing that not only people that walk through the skyway, but people drive underneath it and see it from all angles, that not only does our institution play a huge part in students' lives as in getting them civically involved, as is in our mission, but also, let students know that we're having events and kind of kick off everything. So anyways, we double checked with facilities to make sure that it was okay to hang this, because we ordered the 2012 part and it got bumped up to administration, who said pretty much we're not allowed to hang it in the skyway except for 2 weeks before the election, and that's if nobody else is using it. So what I'm here to propose is a motion that Senate supports that the Metro State Votes 2012 banner is hung in the skyway from August 1st up and through the election on November 5th. This, yeah, so that's a motion.
Oh, that is the motion.
Yep.
I was gonna make the motion. Okay.
Motion by Angie, to support the hanging of the Metro State Votes 2012 banner in the Skyway from August 1st through the election. Seconded by Brooke. Speak to your motion.
I pretty much already did, I think. If you guys have any questions, you can let me
Speak to
know.
your second.
Well, 2 weeks is just not
No.
close to enough time to have a banner up when you're having it's a huge election, it's a presidential election.
And we have a
To
bunch of
banner
meetings.
maybe up for 2 weeks, that's ridiculous, so.
And I probably should have said that our first event is January 23rd. So like, it's coming up. I mean, I wish we could have it up, forever, but you want to make it timely too, so.
Thank you. Discussion, Diane?
We always hang it in the Skyway, and it's been longer than 2 weeks. I don't know if it's August 1st, I believe it's usually about when semesters start, so it'd be mid-August, so I have nothing against, bumping it back. I'd also like to say, you guys are making it really difficult for me to go back to the administration tonight, just saying. But yeah, we always, as soon as she said that, I'm like, we always hang it in there starting in August, so I yield.
Angie?
Just so you know, this is going to be, our support is going to be in a letter from our committee that will go through the provost and that will go to administration. So you can tell them whatever you need to.
I'll still bring it up in
write,
the administration.
but that's how this is going to be portrayed through our support.
And we sign on to it? Is that how it is?
It's just to show student support, that students want that banner hung.
But my question is the letter coming from,
It's coming from
CCDL?
our planning committee. No, the Metro State Votes Planning
okay,
Committee.
so basically if we vote yes, then we're signing on to that letter?
Right.
Okay,
Would
just for
it-
clarification.
Point of information for that. Would it be beneficial for me to write, if we approve it, for me to write my own letter?
You can ask maybe Susan,
Okay,
sure, in
okay.
CCBL and see what she wants
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I don't know what would be the best.
Okay.
Two questions, maybe Angie can answer. One, given that this has been up in the past, do we know why they
No.
don't, okay. What was my second question? Oh, do we know, no, never mind. No, we can't. I yield.
Deal. Any further discussion? Noel?
What's the reason for not wanting it up?
Oh, I know.
She just,
Oh, sure, you know
There's
what
another
else.
reason, there is another reason besides that they just don't want it up. They're saying apparently that the reason the Skyway is clear, is all glass, is because the community was concerned of blocking the view. And so now, the problem is if we have this banner, it blocks the view.
the view of what? Burger King?
I don't know. I don't know, I'm just saying that's what
Who's
they're,
driving the flying cars?
I don't know.
Okay, order.
Sorry.
Any further discussion? Rob?
I think it was, just to kind of touch
Yeah.
on that, I think it was the view from inside the Skyway to the streets is what the argument was. And-
No, it's
and
a
the view of
community
the-
view.
That
But
just
it
makes
doesn't matter.
no
It's still-
sense.
yeah.
That
why we're
would be the
laughing.
reason.
Right. Any further discussion?
Are you?
All right, seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor of supporting the motion to support hanging the banner from August 1st through the election?
I'd like to amend the motion to say adamantly support.
Second.
Order. We will not take that motion under consideration. So we'll now move on to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion prevails. You can appeal to the chair all you want. I was going to do that.
Come on.
You can't, you have to appeal to the chair. I can appeal. All right, moving right along. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I just want to tell everyone about our first event real quick, and that, like I said, is on January 23rd. It's a Monday night. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. It's going to be in the Eagle Lab room. Will be facilitated by Professor Matt Filner, and he is going to present about what a caucus is and everything about a caucus, the history and philosophy behind it, and then we're also going to do like a fake, like, I don't want to say fake, but like a dry run, a mock caucus. So you can come and participate in it. There will be food there, and it's going to be really great. Like, very informative. It's going to we're purposely designing this event to